his life here in Nicodemus. One of the Buffalo soldiers of the 10th U.S. Cavalry was a man named Samuel Garland. He was born a slave in Pamzola County, Mississippi on February the 24th, 1847, to a Cherokee mother and an African-American father. When Sam was 14, he boarded a riverboat on the Mississippi River and worked as a cabin boy. During the Civil War, Sam served as a volunteer soldier. After the war, he worked until June 1867, then joined the 10th U.S. Cavalry at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. He served 5 years as a Buffalo soldier for the U.S. Cavalry. He was stationed at various Kansas forts and assigned to duty throughout the western frontier. He fought in many Indian battles and was a member of the rescue party that assisted Colonel George Forsyth and his men at the famous Battle of Beecher Island. The Beecher Island battle took place September 1868 at a small sandy island on the Rickery Fork of the Republican River. On this small river island in eastern Colorado, the bloody battle lasted for 9 days. Romanos, chief of the Cheyenne Indians, and his many warriors killed and wounded several of Colonel Forsyth's men. Two scouts were sent from Fort Wallace, Kansas, for assistance. Sam and another scout crossed their paths. They were told of the bloody battle at Beecher Island. They quickly returned to the camp and delivered the message for assistance. Only after arrival and rescue from the 10th U.S. Cavalry were Colonel Forsyth and his men saved. Sam only received minor wounds while serving in the U.S. Cavalry. However, he was shot in the forehead with an arrow that nearly killed him while he was in a battle with Indians near Victoria, Kansas. He pretended to be dead, and thus he saved his own life. Sam served his country and gave his military best. When he was finished with the U.S. Cavalry in 1872, he returned to civilian life where he met and married a lady by the name of Mary Samuels. In 1879, he moved his family from Leavenworth to Nicodemus. And Nicodemus was a newly established all-African-American frontier town and a place where Sam wanted to make his home. It was in an area on the frontier where he had spent much of his military life. While in Nicodemus, Sam operated a hardware store and a real estate business. He also served as a great orator, giving many campaign speeches for the Republican Party. Sam left Kansas to establish an all-African-American community in southeastern Colorado. The community was named Manzanola, or it was near Manzanola. The community included Sam, his family, many friends, and relatives. Sam died on July 9th, 1946, and left a host of family and friends to remember him. He also left a proud legacy as one of the first African-American soldiers to serve in the 10th U.S. Cavalry. In January 1991, over 55 years after his death, Sam's great-grandson, Alonzo Dillon Alexander of Nicodemus, performed his first one-man show, dramatizing the life and times of the proud men of the 9th and 10th U.S. Cavalry.
The story about this damn pig. So I want to tell you a little something here. You see, it happened, sorry, Gil. You see, it happened in 1878, just less than a year after we started Nicodemus. Well, I'm going to tell you all about how this goes. Now, some of y'all might not be free. I was sitting down, it was just kind of one of those beautiful summer mornings, you know, and I got up and sitting down at my table, and I had me just a bit of coffee. Took me a little sip and everything like that, and I started to have a bite of breakfast. And about that time, I started hearing the most nerving sound. It was just kind of a rumbling, and I heard this pounding going on, and I looked up, and my cup of coffee started inching its way to the other end of the table. I'm like, my God, what the hell is going on? About that time, it got over and just fell off and hit the dirt floor. Well, them fat back and eggs I had over there, they were sliding off too. No, I just let them go on and join the coffee. But then I just saw the lantern. And I needed a little bit of light because it was dark down in that dugout. So I grabbed the lantern right quick, and all of a sudden, it just kept getting louder and louder and louder. Well, I heard about those earth tremors, the earth tremor things called earthquakes. So I just figured that's what it was. It's one of those earthquakes. Well, all of a sudden, I got the lantern in one hand, you see, and it commenced to shaking and dirt falling every which way. I was like, my God, how am I going to see to get up out of here? So I dropped the lantern and had to grab my jug. I needed that. So I made my way away from the table. About that time, all of a sudden, dirt come flying every which way, and bam! Right down on top of the table. Well, I done backed up against the wall. You see, I'm sprouted out to the wall, but I had my jug in my hand, and I was sprouted out against the wall. And I couldn't move. And all of a sudden, right there in front of me, I mean the biggest, meanest, ugliest longhorn bull you ever wanted to see. And I just looked up and said, how you do? So he looked up at me and he just wide-eyed, and I'm like, oh, Lord. So I made my way around to the door. But I was too scared I couldn't move. So he got up and kind of, got himself on, gathered up a little bit, and he looked at me. I went, woo-wee! Something gonna happen up in here. About that time, he commenced to shaking his horns, and dirt, my walls were flying everywhere. They was all over the place, and I just couldn't move. And I'm standing there thinking, how am I going to get up out of here? I didn't know. So I stood there, and he just looked at me wide-eyed, and I'm like, wow, there's something else here. I got to thinking I should have stayed in Kentucky. But anyway, all of a sudden, I guess he got scared of me too, and he tried to jump back up through that hole that used to be my roof. But he got up there and took this big jump and slid right back down to the floor. Well, I know I couldn't get out the door, and I know he wasn't going to make it. So he stood there, and all of a sudden, the biggest, loudest, ugliest sound, he reared his head up and just yelled out. Then he jumped right back up through that hole. I was like, good God Almighty. Whew. It took me a minute to gather myself. So I inched on up and commenced to look and make sure he ain't coming back. So I just looked up there and I said, wow, what the heck is going on here? About that time I seen all these cows. The hooves was jumping over the hole. They was running around. But I was like, damn, I'm worried about my dugout. So I turned around and snatched the door off his hinges, and I went out to see what the heck was going on. It wasn't no earthquake. It was a stampede. I had seen them and even been in them, but I was on horseback because I was trying to get them under control. Well, I sat there and I was just really messed up. I was mad because of my dugout, you see. About that time, here comes Merle over there. He said, you all right? No, I ain't all right. Look at me. Hey, look at my dugout. Why you asking me if you all right? I said, Merle, you want to taste this? I'm shook up here. I got to have something. You don't want none? That's all right. Don't worry about it. Well, I poured me a little taste too, Didn't do too much, but needed for medicinal purpose. Believe me, I was medicinally red. Well, we sat there and we looked off to the north. And just in the dust, we could see what's left of the stampede. But there was these three cowboys. They were just yelling back all of these foul languages. Well, they didn't care much for us settlers because they said we was in the way. They would head the cattle up to Nebraska to the railhead. And I just sit there and shook my head. And Merle said, you sure you're all right? I said, Merle, don't ask me that no more. It's going to take me a little time, just chill a little bit, man, buddy. So we sat there and we looked. I said, Merle, I'm pretty damn tired of this. I said, them cowboys. I said, they come through here and they just don't care about our folks. I said, now, the next time one of them, I'm going to get me one. Because somebody going to pay for my table, my lantern, and my dugout. And I need a fresh bag of coffee. I need that. But I got something else. Don't worry about that, man. But anyway, we stood there for a while and just talked about it. And I said, well, it is what it is. We've been through worse than that, so we'll repair everything. But I said goodbye to Merle and went on to fix my dugout, and finally we got everything fixed. But one thing I can't understand, we come here together from Nicodemus. I'm from Kentucky to Nicodemus. Didn't nobody come around to help me. I couldn't understand where they disappeared to. But that's all right. Merle's my buddy, and that's how I survived that stampede in 1778.
During that first winter in Nicodemus, I saw several Indians for the first time. Magnificent men, long hair, feathers blowing in the wind, leather leggings, and buffalo robes. They came boldly, riding their ponies bravely into our little settlement, in and around the dugouts. I was already outside when they arrived. I ran inside and told Jenny, get up and follow me down to the river where we can hide. As we ran, I shouted, Indians! Indians! And the town came alive. Folks were scared, panicking, screaming, and running wild. Down to the river! Hiding in the river! As I quickly spread the word and led my wife Jenny and others down to the river to hide in the storage caves, I noticed the Indians didn't seem hostile. No bows, no arrows drawn, no chasing us. Matter of fact, some rode with full deer carcasses. They followed us down to the river, amidst folks running and screaming. When they came upon Jenny, me, and a small group of men, they stopped, said a few words, threw the deer down to the ground. I slowly stepped forward and made a friendly gesture. The one in the group who appeared to be the leader said, me no hurt you. Me no hurt you. Food. Food. Me no hurt you. They slowly turned and headed back toward town. Folks were still running and screaming as they passed. I must admit, it was a day we all remember. We talked about the incident for years. But I must say, later on, we heard the Cheyenne Dog soldiers were escaping the reservation and traveling through the area. We all panicked when we heard they were killing settlers. Later, some settlers were killed up on Sapper Creek, up near the town of Oberlin. Though we had no deadly encounter with the Indians who shared their game, still, it was a time Indians were considered hostile. Some say they were Osage who came to Nicodemus. Friendly band of Indians. Hostile? They weren't. Since then, I've gained a new perspective and respect for Indians. Hostile? They weren't. All I can truly say is that they were friendly. And if there were hostile Indians, they had a right to be. They were fighting to save their country, their lands. And we colored folk, we were here in this land trying to make it free as slaves.